doesn't it?
When was the last time you had a really good belly laugh?
It's about time.
When was the last time you had a really good belly laugh? I mean, really? Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. That's good. This could be easy. Whatever it is that we're walking through, it could be easy, or at least easier than it appears to be. Our roots based in old Puritan thinking that says if we do not break a sweat, we have not earned it, have a tendency to override the fact that things might be easy. And taking ourselves so very seriously. What a fabulous human practice. Fun. Could be fun. Or not. Done. And to be done, you know what? Sometimes it's just time to be done. To trust that we have done our best and that our best is divine order. Now that's what I wrote to tell you what I was talking about today. Let's see how close we come to that. It could be easy. You know, in 10 easy steps, you can learn to play the piano. Not that anybody would listen. Ron, I think you've had more than 10 easy steps. In 5 easy steps, you can learn to cook sushi. They don't cook sushi. When I read that one, I thought, what?
I could learn that once.
That's just a good knife and a lot of raw fish, right? It could be easy. I'm really trying to remember the last time I made something really easy. When was the last time you made something really easy? I mean, you just made it so easy. Do you remember? Did you have one of those? Can I borrow one?
Still searching.
Still searching?
I don't think so.
When was the last time you made something really easy? You know, we love as human beings to make things hard. We just like to make them a little difficult. And I was thinking a lot about that in the last few weeks. I thought, you know, this could be easy. I was sharing with Jen. I said, you know, I've given a lot of talks in my long career as a minister and as a spiritual teacher and as a human. I've given a lot of talks, and I thought, you know, you've got a really, really busy week. Okay, new project opening up. Find a place to live in Southern California. Drive to Arizona. Pack up the meditation room and the kitchen. Put that in the Mazda. Get in the Subi. Drive to Flagstaff. Give a talk. Get back in the Mazda after you arrive in Phoenix. Drive back to Southern California and be at work at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. Okay. Check, check, check. Oh, and you need to write a talk in there. Well, you all know that's not true anyway, right? This is just a prop. However, I said, you know, this could be easy. This could be easy. And so I started. You have at least 100 talks that you've given, Penny. Surely there is one in there you can rerun or rewrite or bounce off of. And Spirit said, you are bouncing off of all of them because they have become a part of you. And hopefully you have learned at least one thing in each one. So how easy do you want this to be? No, I want it to be one that I pull out of the list and I plop it here in front of me and we just deliver that one. No. But I said easy. And Spirit said, go ahead and resist. Let's see how easy this can be. Literally, I'm walking through the living room, the common area of the space that I'm living in right now. And when I was the executive director at the Unity Center in California, and when I was the director of operations at Unity of Phoenix, I had a saying, and it went like this: easy, fun, and done. I used it with my volunteers all the time. Easy, fun, and done. And if we're not having that experience, we need to either stop doing what we're doing, or we need to do it differently. Easy, fun, and done. So at the Unity Center in San Diego, they actually had plaques made up that said that. And the lady that I'm sharing space with in San Diego right now has one hanging on the wall. So I get up to walk into the kitchen because I am sure that a piece of dark chocolate will inspire me into picking one of these talks that I already have written. And the little plaque on the wall goes, I hate that when that happens, because really, well, they call them earthquakes in California. Now the rest of the pictures in the house were doing that also. However, I noticed that particular plaque. Easy, fun, and done, and I said, you're going to make me write that talk. And then Ann and I have been in conversation about the community meeting coming up. And then I've been in conversation with the board. And some days it doesn't feel easy here at Unity of Flagstaff. Some days it feels like we're making it harder than it has to be. Some days it just seems like a struggle. That's what I hear. And I hear that is true in life sometimes. We have a perfectly beautiful home in Phoenix, Arizona. We are no longer at the height of the market, by the way. We found out from the realtor on Saturday. And we're moving to Southern California. You know, Penny, you could just make this easy and just fold into what's in front of you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just make it easy. Or you can fight spirit and see how easy that is. How's that resistance working for you? We love to create a sense of self-importance, and we do it by making things hard. Oh, did that one hurt?
Yes.
We love to create a sense of self-importance, and we do it by making it difficult. Because if I make it tough enough, somebody will feel sorry for me. I will guarantee you somebody out there loves a victim. Anyone in the room? Somebody out there loves a victim. And I'll get the encouragement and the inspiration, and I'll get the sympathy I'm looking for. I will create this to be so difficult. I will seem so important. Nobody could do this job. And the truth is, nobody would want to, because I have made it look so difficult. Now, this is my story. If it applies, use it. If it doesn't, say, well, that's too bad for her. We love to create a sense of self-importance, and we do it by complicating things. You know, I also notice about me that I can make things difficult because then I have an excuse. If it doesn't quite turn out perfect, well, it was because it was so hard. I have been given a pass for it to not be perfect. And the interesting thing is, I set that up at the beginning. Whatever it is, I set that thought process up at the beginning of the process. If I make this really hard, then, well, of course it's not perfect. It was so hard. It gives us an out when we make it difficult. My story, if it works for you, if you want to try it on, that's fine. See what you come up with on that. And then, you know, there is that thing about drama. I have people in my life that love drama. Other people in my life that love drama.
Right.
And it is such a human thing to want to make it exciting. It's so human. I mean, why should it be easy? easy when it could be exciting and it could be scary and it could make me not want to do it, because then I will have persevered. I will have succeeded. I will have overcome all the obstacles and proven what a strong individual I am. And I'm the one that made it difficult in the first place. Just a little? Just a little. And you know, then there's that control thing. If it's really hard, and I'm the only one that knows how to make it right, and I'm the only one that can fix it, I'm in total control. You know, I love what Byron Katie says, with me around, who needs God? Really. This is so difficult, I'm the only one that can manage it. And I am in complete control. Recognize that one? Do you have that experience once in a while in your life? Do you ever sense that in your workplace, in your spiritual home, in your relationships? I'm making this difficult because I need to be in control. And how about this one? I need to be needed. I just need to be needed. And if it's tough enough, they're going to need me. I am indispensable. They asked me at LA Fitness International in the corporate office, what do you see as your role here? And I thought I was pretty clever. I said, well, my only role is to be indispensable. You want to see what that task list looks like, right? My only job is to be indispensable. And then it no longer is easy. And it could be. I love this quote by Stephen Redfield. Life can be as easy as you wish to make it, or as difficult as you are prepared to believe it is. And there's another quote, and I've heard it from this platform. It's simple, but not easy, she says. Reverend Penni Honey. And I went, ooh. It's simple, but it's not easy. So I've had to revise that. I'm backing up on that. Or maybe I'm just growing through it. This is the way it sounds for me now. It simply could be easy. It just simply could be easy. And when it's easy, it's a little more fun. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. So, does that mean we're opposed to fun? Is that why we make things so difficult? You know, I love acronyms, right? So I'm like, oh, I have an acronym for fun. And I have one I can actually use in church. And so, it goes like this. Fully unwind now. And then another one came. Fully understand now. But wait, there's more. This is the one that came on the way up here. Free up now.
I like that.
Now what I noticed was every one of those ended in the word now. And I know there are more words than now that begin with N. And I started thinking about that, actually on the way up here. Now. It's that present thing again. It's about being in the moment again. It's about being in the now again. Oh, does that lead me to having more fun? When I'm only worried about what's in front of me instead of what's in front of me the next 2 weeks? Am I having more fun when I'm just in the present moment now? When we say, where are the kids? They're looking for them. Do I want to worry about how that needs to change the system? Somebody better be doing their job better. Somebody better know where the kids are. Somebody better be thinking out how to get more of them here. What if I were in the now moment and noticed that that was the one we needed? That one. Right now, that was the one. Freed up now. Now. That's where the fun is at. And when you're not fun, you just don't show up as the greatest expression that God intended you to be. You know, the story of Jesus leads us down this path of sacrifice and suffering in most traditional settings. You know, the ones that would have a Bible on a stand up here. And that's okay, because that's what they need. That's what's needed in that moment. However, I want to offer up a new view. What if that wasn't a life of just sacrifice and suffering? What if Jesus said, wait a minute, interview me about what that life was about? Would Jesus say it was all suffering? You know, those miracles, those were real pain in the neck. You know, all those people that kept following me around, I just wanted some time by myself. I do not believe that Jesus' impression of his own life would have been nothing but sacrifice and suffering. I do not believe that Nelson Mandela believed that his life was suffering only. And I believe that if we had the opportunity to have a conversation with those folks, that they might say something like this: it was my joy to show up like that. I was given the opportunity to be the greatest expression that I could ever have been invited into. It is good to be me. And I'm really sorry that story got twisted around a little bit. And I know there were some bumps, like Michael reminded us of, and there will be more. But I do not have to suffer in order to get the gift of the lesson. And I'm sorry that story wheeled it around the way that it did. And we were left with the impression at times that if we don't suffer, it just doesn't count. I think there's a different story. And someday I'm going to sit in deep enough meditation. I'm going to pray deep enough. I'm going to be connected enough that I'm going to understand it. Or maybe I do right now, if I were willing to be in fun, where I was freed up in the now moment. Maybe the perfect understanding of it is right there. Maybe the answer to that question, to that sadness, to that worry, to that why am I moving to Southern California when there is a whole community of people in Flagstaff, Arizona that love me? But maybe if I could stay present now, that this is what is yours to do now. That doesn't mean forever. Now means now. What if I could just be in the fun of it? Oh, it's horrible to have to live in Southern California. Oh, that beach thing and that water thing and and the sun all the time, this sun thing. And right now, that's what I'm invited into. What are you invited into right now in your life? Right now. And could it be fun if you were present to it? No matter what it is. Is it a diagnosis? What is so fun about that? Is it a divorce? What is so fun about that? Is it a child that you just don't get where they're coming from, and you certainly don't know where they're going? What is so fun about that? I don't know. You guys were really expecting me to answer that? Every good speaker knows the term rhetorical question. I don't know. That's your work. But you could be present to the now moment. And you could allow it to be easy. And you could move into the element of fun around it. And you could free up in the now moment. And notice how big God can be now. Now, how big is God? Now. My granddad used to say, and we called him Frosty. Is that a great name or what? Forrest Jefferson was his name. Forrest Jefferson, Maine. And we called him Frosty. We have a lot of class where I'm from. It's just all third. So Granddad Frosty used to say this. If it ain't going to matter in 10 years, I am not going to worry about it today. How much time do you spend worrying about things that you're not even going to remember in 10 minutes, let alone 10 years? If it ain't going to matter in 10 years, I'm just not going to worry about it today. And then my grandma would throw in, she'd say, if you're worrying, you're just borrowing against tomorrow's joy. Yeah. Now, right there in Southern Illinois, they just lived in a great big bubble of now. It's a good place to be, that bubble. I think we take ourselves way too seriously. When was the last time you authentically smiled? Now think about it. One that starts here. Got one? Do you know that smiling releases serotonin in your brain, and you know that's the happy hormone? Smiling, the act of smiling. We are creatures of joy. This doesn't have to be hard. We can step into the fun element of this thing we call life. We are creatures of joy all around us. Do you notice it? Do you see it? Are you missing it? Have a little fun. Have a lot of fun. But they won't take me very seriously if I'm that fun. They might not think I can handle that big old job they gave me in Southern California. That's so immature to be fun. You're in La La Land. Jeff and I are looking at a piece of property. And Jeff got pretty intense. Yeah, hard to imagine. But he got pretty intense. I mean, clipboard in hand and everything, right? He's looking under the sink and he's looking at the ceiling and he's looking and he's looking and he's looking. And I'm going, so, what a beautiful view. Oh, I love these countertops. Is that a gas stove? And I am having fun because I think I need to counter the intensity on the other side of the formula. And we leave there and we do a little evaluation of our own behavior, and we notice that I was countering that, and he thought I was in La La Land. And all of a sudden it dropped in. If I'm having too much fun, people can't take me seriously. And I love what Charles Swindoll says. Don't take yourself too seriously because nobody else is. I give up the opportunity to be seen as so mature and so grown up if I'm fun, right? Or maybe I open myself to the next greatest incredible idea because I was willing to be now, freed up now. And when are we done? I'm done. I say that once in a while. I am done. 5 rental properties, I'm done. I am so done. Pick one. I know it's hard to imagine. Oh, but God is in it. Yeah, well, God ain't signing this lease and I want this to be done. And if we reach that level of done, that's exactly what we are. We limit the universe to the greatest possibility that awaits for us. What if we could be done? Because we know we came here complete. What if if all the rest of it is just extra? What if I just came here done? Complete. I've never seen God show up less than 100%. Have you? Have you ever seen God show up less than 100%? I'm guessing God is done. God is done knowing that we're enough. God is done knowing that there is enough. And all we have to do is continue to open to all that doneness. And we can be at peace. We can be in a place of acceptance. We can be in a place of ease. And then we move right back to easy, fun, and done. And if you hurry, you can sign up now for easy, fun, and done. Because right now is when it's happening. Right now. How do we make it fun? Stop reacting. Stay in the now moment. How do we make it easy? Allow it to be so. How do we know when it's done? Stand in the truth of who you are and know that you came here done. You're complete. Take a breath. From here on out, it's just more of the good that you already are. The secret? Just enjoy it. Be present to it. It's going to pass by us anyway. Grab a hold. Allow it to be easy, fun, and done. I appreciate you more than you can know.